Hey, welcome everyone. In this video I'm doing a review of the Ring Video Doorbell Pro 2. Now I have reviewed the original Pro version. A link to that video review is in the video description. Still worth checking out because now that the Pro version 2 is available, the original Pro version has now been discounted on price and is still widely available, even from the Ring website. So still definitely worth checking out if you want to spend less money. Now this Pro 2 version is a little expensive at $325 Canadian or $250 US. So yes, it's very expensive, but there are some top tier video doorbells at the same price range. Now setting this doorbell up was incredibly easy, and I'm by no means a handyman. What I can say though is that there's a condition in order to install this unit, and that is of course you need hard wiring for your doorbell unit. So if you're looking for something that operates on battery power, this unit does not have batteries, this is not the unit for you, but Ring does sell other video doorbells that are battery operated. Now technically if you don't have a wired connection for your doorbell, there's a workaround because Ring does sell an adapter that you can plug this into a power outlet, but that would just look incredibly silly. The box is almost half the size of the original Pro version's box, but things are packed a bit more efficiently and there's less items. All the required screws, anchors, and wires are inside along with a screwdriver for the security screw that goes underneath the Pro 2 doorbell to prevent anyone from easily prying it off the wall. Also in the box is an angle wedge that was not included with the original version. This allows doorbells at an odd angle, like my setup, to be mounted at a better angle so you can see who's at the door. Now there are two ways to follow instructions to set this video doorbell up. The first method is the paper instructions, which are really tiny, but they help you get the job done and they work just fine. The other method is to scan a QR code with your cell phone, which will open up the Ring app and help you set it up through there. Except the instructions on the Ring app are slightly incorrect. For example, in their video instructions, they mention that there are 3 angles to use for the angle wedge. That's wrong. There's only one angle wedge at one angle to use. My recommendation as of this video recording is to use the paper instructions and you'll be just fine. Now it took me a little over an hour to set up this doorbell, and that's only because I couldn't find the special screwdriver to take out the security screw of my original Pro doorbell. If I had found it sooner, I probably would have got this done in 45 minutes, so it gives you an idea that this is a pretty quick process. Although what's missing in the Pro 2 version's box, which was included in the original version, was a star screwdriver, a drill bit fitting if you had to drill in the wall to set up holes for your doorbell, and multiple face plates. Now I'm not going to count this as a big deal because everyone should have a screwdriver. The drill bit you're probably going to have to purchase your own depending on what material you're going to drill into. And the face plates, I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever change them. Every house I've been to that has a Ring doorbell has always used the same basic generic faceplate. Now after you ring the Pro doorbell itself outside, your inside doorbell should ring because it's compatible with most mechanical and electronic doorbells, right? But the weird thing is that the outside doorbell will also have its own chime effect. Now I've owned a Ring doorbell for over 4 years, and for the life of me I still can't figure out why the outside chime is required. I've actually tried Googling it and no one has an answer. A lot of people assume that it's to let the person outside know that the doorbell has rang inside, but what if your inside doorbell isn't working, but then the outside chime is? That defeats the entire purpose? Anyway, it's just odd, but you do have the ability to mute that chime in the Ring app settings. After someone rings the doorbell or enters my motion detection zone, I get a notification on my phone about 4 seconds later, which is faster than what the original Pro could do. There's also new rich notifications on Android and iOS. Basically, you get a quick snapshot preview of what caused the notification. I'll get back to motion detection zones soon. The biggest advertised improvement on Pro 2 over the original is the area of the video feed. The original Pro did a decent job of getting an idea of who's at the door, but if the person was standing too close, you couldn't see their face. And another situation is that you might not see packages left on your doorstep. With Pro 2, the viewing area is a lot taller and can be viewed with a wide angle lens point of view. Couple that with the angle wedge, it's a huge improvement over the original version. I also find general video clarity sharper in picture. Night mode video is also pretty clear like the original version, except the original version was only black and white on night mode, whereas this time it tries to have a night color mode, but it's still pretty just bland colors. Audio is still kind of the same as the original version, nothing amazing, it's just okay. So here I am, looking like a bum, talking in normal volume as if someone had answered the door. Live two-way communication is still available. Another cool thing that's available on Pro 2, which wasn't on the original Pro, is greetings. Now this feature works in 2 ways. The first method only works in the US as of this video recording. Basically, if someone was to ring the doorbell and they want to leave off a package, will communicate with them and let them know where to leave the package if you're not available to answer the door. The second situation works outside the US and doesn't really use a lot. It just uses her voice for pre-recorded messages that you can kind of have the person listen to. So for example, I have a rule set up from the custom templates that if I do not answer the doorbell within 10 seconds, it'll let the person know that we can answer the door and to leave a message. It'll then record the audio and video, and I can check it back on the Ring app laterwards. This feature is so simple and of an idea, but so effective, it's actually pretty darn cool. As I mentioned earlier, there's still motion detection like the first Pro, but it's been improved. So you can still set up motion detection zones. Basically, if there's movement within the zone you set up, you'll get an alert. You can also filter to humans only, so Ring will try to only alert you to motion caused by a human, not by, say, a car passing by or a small animal going through it. And surprisingly, it's pretty accurate. You can also set time of day motion alerts, so they're silenced when you're asleep, for example. What's been improved over the original Pro is bird's eye view motion tracking. Ring will use a satellite view and camera view to detect literally where people are going on your property. Setting this up is a bit of a challenge because satellite view is absolutely terrible. Everything is a giant blob, so I had to keep going back and forth in the setup process to get it right. Once it was done, the bird's eye tracking seems accurate to detect which direction someone is walking. But again, on the maps, it's really blurry. This means that using bird's eye playback wouldn't be useful if you need to provide it to police as further evidence for a break-in or some other crime. When it comes to recording, there's some good and bad. The bad is that everything is over Ring Cloud services. You can't record anything directly to a NAS or other local network storage device. The good is that the Ring plan is cheap at $100 a year. That plan actually includes a professional alarm monitoring service by Ring if you purchase their alarm system. I highly recommend you purchase the alarm system as it's incredibly cheap, reliable, and you can pair it with other Ring devices. For example, if my Ring alarm is set to away mode, then I can set a rule to have other Ring devices, including the Pro 2 doorbell, automatically record all detected motion. There are other minor rules you can set and integrate between Pro 2 doorbell and the alarm system, but that'll make this video a bit too long. Basically, I was paying over $300 a year from alarm monitoring from ADT, but with Ring I only had to pay a hefty fine for the hardware, but over 2 years I saved that money back in subscription fees. Now my wife and I control everything from our cell phone, and an added bonus of Ring video devices like the Ring Pro 2 doorbell gives us even better monitoring over our home. I have reviewed the alarm system, a link to that is in the video description. You can view recordings directly from your mobile device or the Ring website. You'll also see a history of recordings. The amount of time these recordings will remain available in your Ring Cloud storage depends on your country. Here in Canada and the US, they're available for 60 days before being deleted. On the topic of integration, you can sync the Pro 2 doorbell with devices. For example, when someone rings a doorbell, you can command to show you a live feed of who's at the door with an Echo Show device. Or you can do live two-way communication with someone at the door with an Echo device. You can access cloud recordings and control the Ring doorbell and get alerts anywhere in the world, even if you're on mobile data. If the Pro 2 doorbell loses internet connectivity, it will operate as a dummy doorbell, thankfully. There's a fair number of other settings available, but going into them would take a while. They're nothing major, but allow you better control over privacy. So for example, you can block out certain parts of the video feed from being recorded, notification setting alerts, turning your inside doorbell off and on, and more. Overall, this is a fantastic upgrade from the first Pro 2 doorbell, and I've been using that one for over 4 years, and it's been working great. And Ring and Amazon are always updating things in the background, making controls and customization better, especially with integration with the alarm system and other Ring devices. The biggest bummer here is the price tag. It's really expensive, and it will be hard for a lot of people to justify the cost, which is why the original Pro version, now at a discounted price, might be worth looking into instead for some people. If the price tag isn't a problem, this is definitely worth checking out, especially because the first Pro doorbell has lasted me over 4 years here in Canada, and those odd winter days we reach minus 30 degrees Celsius, it still works fine. But that's pretty much it for me. Be sure to check out my social links in the video description, hit the like button, it does help, subscribe, and thanks for watching.